Welcome to the interesting, spectacular, and entertaining WWE contours where all the latest information, everything you need to know about the WWE is over here. All you need to do is one click away, subscribing to this channel, and consider all your latest updates from me is there on your YouTube homepage, just sitting right there. So make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. But anyway, it's been a while. It's been about a month. It's been about 2 months, probably. I don't know, a month and a half since I've done my last weekly review. So welcome back to the weekly review, the return of the weekly review, better than ever. I'm gonna go straight into it with Raw 10th of February 2014, and we're live from the Staples Center, and pretty much Stephanie McMahon comes out and she hugs Betty and Triple H, and then laughs at Big Show as the Authority heads to the ring because Betty was coming, and fans started chanting her name. But then Betty says that she's thrilled to be here on Raw, and then Big Show asks what she's gonna do tonight, and then she says that she's gonna do things that she's never done before. And Triple H comes out and starts laughing at Stephanie McMahon, and then Michael Cole welcomes us to Raw. Triple H, I think, was probably some kind of prank that they made on Betty, but then Triple H says that they're reconsidering all of the Elimination Chamber participants, but Randy Orton's music interrupts and out comes Randy Orton, and he takes the mic, and then Stephanie is upset about him interrupting, and then she suggests Orton go back and prepare for his match, and Orton says he's here to apologize to them. He's been childish, selfish, and foolish lately, and he understands if he wants to get his way, he has to give the Authority what he wants. And he says starting tonight he is bringing back the Viper to his championship reign, and then fans start chanting Daniel Bryan, and Orton pauses, and Stephanie asks if Orton is feeling the pressure of Daniel Bryan. Orton talks about SummerSlam when he cashed in on Bryan, and Orton doesn't really want to just be the face of the WWE inside the ring, but he also wants it outside of the ring as well. And he wants the TV shows, the interviews, the cereal boxes, and everything else on him. And Orton says he's the heart and soul of WWE and the face of the WWE. And yeah, pretty much he just reviews back and he says that he is the face of the WWE. And Daniel Bryan comes out and then with a big pop, and Stephanie doesn't really appreciate either of them interrupting from now on. And all talents must make an appointment with Kane. And then Bryan says Kane is nowhere to be found. And he talks about Kane interfering last week, and Bryan wants a match against Kane tonight. Stephanie says that Kane is on administrative leave for 1 week, and then Bryan questions who is reviewing the Authority's performance. Bryan calls them ignorant and stupid, and then Triple H tells Bryan to kiss the ground they walk on and be honored to be in the same ring. And then Bryan brings up when Orton handcuffed Triple H to the ropes and kissed Stephanie about was it 5 years ago that happened, and Orton tells Triple H to give him the word so he can punt Bryan's head off, and then Triple H announces that Bryan is getting a well-deserved night off, and then fans start a no chant, and then Bryan yells no in Triple H's face, but then the Raw music starts playing, and it's feeling for those like that was it. Mark Henry, now next, Mark Henry was back, and also Cena versus Orton in the main event. And it was very Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust versus the Wyatt family. It wasn't very interesting segment to the star of the Raw. Give that 2.5 stars. This match, the Wyatt family won the match by basically, with Bray Wyatt tagged himself and then blocks the 619 with a nasty sister Abigail for the win. And Wyatt family won the match. I thought it was a good start for Raw. 2.5 stars. A good, solid 2.5 stars. And yeah, I think that was probably it. Wasn't really very interesting, but yeah. Then it was Santino Marella versus Fandango. It wasn't even remotely important at all, but Fandango won the match easily, so I give that 2 out of 5 stars. And Sheamus and Christian versus Jack Swagger and Cesaro. This was a pretty good match, actually. Good back and forth match as I was watching the whole show. And then Sheamus nailed a bro kick on Swagger for the win, to win the match. And then it was Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio, and basically Dolph Ziggler first, followed by Alberto Del Rio. Then Del Rio beats Ziggler down to start the match, and then Del Rio hits the super kick to the face for a quick and easy win. Dolph Ziggler is completely down. I mean, I don't know what's happened to him, and yeah, it's a real shame. But anyway, Batista's music hits, and out comes to a big pop. Batista hits the ring and then spears Del Rio, and then they go to the floor, and Batista sends him to the steel steps, and then he just takes apart the announce table, and then grabs, pretty much, he power bombs him through the table, and he grabs a monitor but walks off before even using it. So Batista backstage, Triple H stops in and says it's good to have him back, but he can't be going off on people like he did with Del Rio just now. Triple H says he has to keep him in the ring. Triple H says that Batista can have Del Rio at Elimination Chamber, and then Triple H says he's just looking out for Batista. Batista says things really have changed and walks off. Lita has been announced to be the 2014 Hall of Fame, one of the class inductees, so she's getting inducted, so that's pretty good news for her. And yeah, I completely agree with her. I mean, she's phenomenal, as I saw her in the Attitude Era and with Edge as well. She was really good, I thought. Ryback and Curtis Axel versus the Usos. This wasn't very interesting as well, but Usos are pretty good. I mean, Jimmy nails the Superfly Splash for the win, and they won the match, the Usos. The Usos won the match. And the Outlaws taunt the Usos from ringside, and then Billy runs off like his stomach is hurting, and he has to use the bathroom. Must have been probably tea. But anyway, back from the break, out comes the Shield through the crowd. Mark Henry versus Dean Ambrose for the US title match. Basically, we get kind of Mark Henry winning the match. His return match. He won the match, but then Henry goes for the pin, but then Seth Rollins breaks up for the disqualification, because Henry did do the World's Strongest Slam, but it wasn't very good enough because it's the Shield and it's not very surprising at all, But yeah. But right now, Raw is not very good at all. I wasn't very enjoying it much. But the main event was okay. Cena versus Randy Orton. Surprisingly, this match was better than the Royal Rumble. It was okay, to be honest. It was an okay match. It wasn't very interesting at all. But John Cena won the match, basically. Orton points up. Basically, the end of the match was when Orton points up at the WrestleMania 30 sign, and Orton goes for the punt kick, but then Cena moves. Then Cena goes for an AA, but then Orton blocks it and then nails the RKO for a close 2 count. And then Cena nails the AA, but then Orton kicks out at 2. Then Cena takes Orton to the top for a super AA. Orton fights out, but then runs into like a big boot. And then Cena with a big leg drop from the top. Cena nails the Attitude adjustment for the win. Pretty much. People would say it was a great match. I would say it was a good match. But the only moves that Cena and Orton were just pretty much doing were just AAs and RKOs. Pretty much Cena was just doing AAs throughout the match. Honestly, I'm being a bit too enthusiastic or a bit sarcastic. But, Cena had his hand raised and poses as his music plays, and then we go to replays. And then Cena saluting the crowd like always. Wasn't really the most interesting Raw I could ever see, but it was, it was okay. I would say it should be much better. The biggest interesting thing was Raw were the CM Punk chants, but we all know that CM Punk is not going to be coming back anytime soon. So that's a real shame, honestly. But that was Raw. I give the whole show 2 out of 5 stars. It wasn't very good, and I expect something big to happen at February 24th. As we have seen, if you've probably seen my video of The Undertaker is back for that show, as well as Hulk Hogan is coming back for that show. But anyway, SmackDown, I should keep you guys updated through that update with February 24th. But anyway, let's just get to February 14th. The Shield kicks off SmackDown before defeating Sheamus and then Daniel Bryan and Christian in the opener. Vicky informs Zeb Colton that it will be Mysterio versus Jack Swagger versus Mark Henry versus Kofi Kingston to determine a #1 contender for the IC title, and then Jack Swagger was the one who become the new #1 contender to Big E Langston's IC Championship. This is my prediction. This was my prediction, and yeah, I think this can happen. I think this can probably happen, and I think this should happen. This was my prediction. It should happen at the Chamber. This should be awesome. This should be awesome because this was exactly my opinion, really. Eve Marie defeated Alicia Fox. Goldust, Cody Rhodes, and the Usos defeated the New Age Outlaws, Ryback and Curtis Axel. And Daniel Young comes out to a new theme song and then defeats Damien Sandow. And then after the match, Titus O'Neil attacks Young, but then Young counters and rips the suit of Titus O'Neil. The Miz defeated Fandango after Santino Marella and Emma came out to distract him. And then Cesaro defeated Randy Orton in the main event of SmackDown. Cesaro was the main man of the night, apparently. So I want to hear what you guys think about that. But first, I want you guys to hear what I have to say about it. I think SmackDown was apparently a really good, solid show, but I'm not really sure what the deal is, so I can't really give a rating for this show, but probably you can. So leave your comments down below, rate this video, so spread it around, and subscribe to this channel.